Chapter 1. The Anatomy of Predictability. The moment you become unreadable, something changes. It isn't a scream. It isn't a display of force. It is a quiet withdrawal of the map everyone has been using to navigate you. Most people never realize how predictable they truly are. From the time we are children, we are taught that good means transparent. We are conditioned to respond quickly to a question. We are conditioned to explain our motives. When we see a raised eyebrow, we are conditioned to fill the silence the moment it appears, as if silence were a vacuum that might swallow us whole. Over time, this conditioning becomes a pattern, a rhythm, and people study your rhythm without even trying. They don't need to be geniuses to manipulate the room. They just need to read the book you've left wide open. Predictability is a form of permission, but comfort is the enemy of respect. When you become unreadable, you revoke that permission. Chapter 2. The Power of Removal. Real power isn't something you add to your personality. It is something you remove. You remove the reaction. You remove the unnecessary word. You remove the need to be understood. Think about the last time you felt the urge to defend yourself. That heat in your chest? But what happens if you simply don't? In that absence of a reaction, something new appears. Presence. When you stop providing the data, the smiles, the nods, you become a mirror. Most people are terrified of what they see in that mirror. Chapter 3. The Shift in Dynamics. At first, the shift is small, barely a ripple. You're in a meeting or a confrontation. Someone says something designed to get a rise out of you. But this time, you stay still. You look at them with neutrality. A slight hesitation occurs. They check their internal compass because yours is no longer pointing north for them. When the human mind can't find the pieces to the puzzle of you, it begins to panic. They notice the way you don't break eye contact first. By doing nothing, you have forced them to do everything. Chapter 4. The Projection of Meaning. When you are unreadable, you become a Rorschach test. If someone is insecure, they will assume your silence is judgment. If someone is guilty, they will assume your silence is suspicion. While they are reacting to a version of you that doesn't exist, you are watching the version of them that is very real. You see the way they over-explain. You see the cracks in the armor they usually keep, so well maintained. Chapter 5. The Stillness of the Hunter. The person who reacts less sees more. This is the fundamental law. When you are still truly still, energy stays internal. This creates a magnetic pull. You notice that the person who tries the hardest to seem in control is the one most easily swayed by a well-placed pause. You don't need to prove your worth if you are the only one in the room who isn't seeking validation. Chapter 6. The New Reality. It is the realization that your internal world is your own. You are no longer a leaf blown by the wind of other people's opinions. You are the mountain. Once you become unreadable, you begin to see how people reveal their secrets when they can't find yours. The shift has begun. The moment you become unreadable, something changes. Not loudly, not dramatically, but instantly. People feel it before they understand it, and that's what makes it powerful. Because it's not something you say, it's something you remove. You remove reactions. You remove unnecessary words. You remove the need to explain yourself. And in that absence, something new appears. Something most people aren't used to dealing with. Most people spend their lives chasing validation, explaining themselves constantly, defending their choices, reacting to every comment, every glance, every judgment. Every time you seek approval, you give away your energy. Every reaction scatters your focus, dilutes your presence, and erodes influence. Unreadability is the opposite of that. It's control, mastery, presence, without explanation. Imagine walking into a room and observing instead of reacting, measuring instead of explaining, doing nothing, and yet everything changes. People begin to respond differently, not because you said something, but because of what you didn't say. This is subtle power, tension that makes people notice you without your effort. The less you give, the more they seek. The less you explain, the more they try to read you, and yet nothing is given away. Unreadability creates space, a vacuum that compels attention, that forces others to adjust, to interpret, to test, to react, and you do none of those things. You hold your energy, you preserve focus, you cultivate calm authority. It's in these repeated micro-moments that influence accumulates. By not reacting to chaos, you become the quiet center, the calm in the storm, the presence that sets the tone. Think about relationships. work interactions, casual encounters. People feel your energy before they even know what's happening. They sense that you're different, that you're steady, untouchable, and they respond subconsciously, instinctively. And the more consistent you are, the more your unreadable energy compounds. Every withheld explanation stacks quietly into authority. Influence without words, power without aggression. Most people cannot handle it. They sense tension, discomfort, uncertainty. They may even try to provoke you, but the moment you remain calm, everything shifts. Opportunities appear where hesitation existed. Respect surfaces where attention was scattered. Doors open because your energy commands it, not your words. Unreadability is not manipulation, it's deliberate presence, showing just enough to be understood, withholding enough to remain mysterious. Every pause, every deliberate silence, every calm, unshakable response is a brick in the invisible architecture of influence. And here's the paradox. The less others understand you, the more they respect you, the more they seek engagement, the more your energy controls the dynamic. It doesn't happen overnight. It happens in the repeated practice of small, deliberate choices. Resisting the urge to explain, refusing to react, observing without participating. These micro-habits are the backbone of calm authority. Each repetition reinforces your presence, makes your influence more magnetic, more subtle, more undeniable. The world rewards those who control attention, who preserve energy, who refuse to scatter themselves across the judgments of others. You'll notice subtle changes in tone, posture, attention. People adjusting unconsciously, mirroring your energy, testing boundaries, seeking validation. And you do nothing, you observe, you hold space, and the effect compounds. This is mastery. Mastery over perception, mastery over energy, mastery over influence without words. You may see doors opening, opportunities aligning, interactions flowing differently. Not because you pushed, but because you stopped giving away your power. The art of unreadability is about patience, repeated micro-moments, subtle restraint, choosing silence over explanation, calm over reaction, control over chaos. And the more you practice, the more people notice, not consciously, but instinctively. Your unreadable presence guides the room, sets the tone, shifts dynamics. This is the ultimate paradox. The less they understand you, the more they are drawn to you, the more they respect your boundaries, the more your energy shapes interactions. So continue observing, withholding, pausing. Let silence speak, let absence create presence. Because this is the shift most people never achieve. The moment your energy quietly commands everything, your presence becomes magnetic, subtle, undeniable. This is not coldness, not detachment, it's deliberate mastery of yourself, of your energy, of the influence you project without saying a word. The moment you stop explaining, you step into a new state. Master that, and you master the room, the interaction, the energy itself. It starts now with one choice, one pause. Practice it, repeat it, make it a habit. You will see how the world responds differently. Influence becomes effortless. This is your unreadable energy, your calm authority. If you want to take it further, make sure you subscribe. This is only the beginning. The world is loud, constantly demanding your immediate reaction at every turn. But true power lies in the space between stimulus and response. When you react impulsively, your energy scatters like thin, chaotic light beams, leaving you drained and ineffective. But through strategic silence, that energy focuses into a single, powerful laser of intent. Stop reacting, start controlling. Mastering your energy isn't a one-time event, it's a daily evolution. It's what separates the frantic from the magnetic. Every lesson you internalize transforms simple insight into an unbreakable habit. You begin to command the room without saying a word. Look at the science within. When you resist the urge to shout or argue, you are physically rewiring your brain for authority. Think of your energy as a battery. Most people let others drain them dry through constant validation seeking. The strategist reserves that power, fueling personal growth instead. Your silence is the soil where your influence grows. Notice the impact on others. When you remain calm in a storm, those who seek to provoke you begin to panic. You move through the social chaos with a steady aura of authority. You are the calm eye of the hurricane. Imagine a moment of criticism. An antagonist points a finger, expecting a defensive reaction. Most people fall into the trap immediately. But the subscriber takes a deep breath, a neutral gaze. Silence. In that moment, the tension shifts. The power moves to you. While others run in circles in a maze of drama, you are steadily climbing. Every day of non-reaction is a brick in your fortress. This is the compounding effect of calm authority. Small daily actions stack up, building a life of influence and inner peace. Commit to the daily habit. Accelerate your results by choosing where your energy goes. Subscribe now to Master Your World. Stop explaining. Stop reacting. Observe. Integrate. Apply. We will see you tomorrow for your next lesson in mastery.